What's up, my fellow humans? I was often told as a child to enjoy being young, enjoy being a kid, because as you get older, life is only going to get more complicated. And man, if that is not the truth, let's not sugarcoat it. Some days, adulting just sucks. It feels like a ton of bricks just hits you out of nowhere, and it brings all this stress and pressure and anxiety and judgment and expectations. I'm a 38-year-old business owner that's navigating a challenging world post-COVID. I'm the proud father of a 5-year-old son. I married my best friend. She's amazing, beautiful, intelligent. And one day, I just kind of realized that I wasn't the person I thought I would be. My relationship was struggling. I wasn't being a good parent. I was struggling in my career. My health was not doing well. And it's nice to have a third-party person you can bounce ideas off to and vent to and kind of discuss where you're at in your life that doesn't have any connection to your past, that doesn't have any sort of premeditated thoughts towards you. I tried traditional therapy. It worked well. I could see how that works for other people. But this time I went a different route, and I found a life coach. And Maureen has been awesome. If you're looking for somebody to discuss life's challenges with, Maureen is a very responsive, encouraging personality that brings a lot of her own wisdom to our discussions. And she really helps focus on the how to move forward with a positive mentality, how to deal with the mental stress and the things that come at us that are unexpected. Because ultimately, we, as humans, only control ourselves. I really enjoy working with Maureen. She's helped me see life through a different lens.
Hello there, and welcome to the I Never Knew podcast, also known as Inc. This show dives into the life experiences of people who have been through it all and have come through the other side stronger, better, and triumphant. Each story is raw, authentic, and, at times, heartbreaking. One thing joins it all together: the fact that the stories can help the listener learn and grow. Hosted by life coach Maureen, she sits down each episode with a new guest who will empower the listener to set out on their self-discovery journey and start to heal. Now you'll be joined by Maureen and her special guest. Please enjoy the show.
And welcome to another episode of I Never Knew Inc., but my dog did podcast. So happy everyone is here today. I am Maureen Scanlon, your life coach, author, speaker, host, and everything that comes with that. So happy to have all of you here. Thank you for all of the 5-star reviews and the followings and the subscribing. We are growing this community huge. Everything about Inc. is sharing our stories and connecting with each other to say, hey, if I did it, you can do it too. So without further ado, I have a really cool guest that I reached out to because he's my neighbor here in Mesa, AZ, right? West side, east side. So I was like, cool, I'm gonna jump on this and say, hey, let's see if we can talk. And his name is Jordan Adler, and it'll be easy for me to remember because I have a daughter named Jordan, so that makes it easy. And here's Jordan's backstory. So he's 26 years old, and he lives in Arizona. He grew up in the South. He was born with a bone disease, and he's been wheelchair bound. But what I love that he says in his bio, he's not letting it stop him from living his dreams. And that is right there, the whole premise of this podcast. So I love this. So he is an internet radio personality and podcaster. He has a podcast called the Talkcast Podcast. And he is currently mostly has an acting background, and he's been starring in his own Lego stop motion videos and cartoons on his YouTube channel. He produces and directs and writes stop motion movies, which I cannot wait to get into and talk about. So some of the traumas that he's had are pretty significant. So, like most of us, we've all had some things that happen in our childhood, and we've got these mental disorders or things that stop us, limit us sometimes. And so he was sexually abused when he was 14. He did get past that, which I'm so happy to hear, and we're going to talk about that. And he does have depression, anxiety, and some PTSD. But what I really love is that he has a therapy dog, which me and my dogs, in fact, you can probably see there in the background. I don't know if you can see.
Oh, yeah.
There's one of my puppies. So I write about dogs. I talk about dogs. I have an e-commerce dog business. So I'm all about the dogs. So cannot wait to hear about your furry baby. So let's do this, Jordan. Let's have some coffee talk this morning. And I want you to start at, your earliest place of either trauma or your story that has made you who you are today.
I think the earliest I can think of is when my sister left the house, because I have a adopted sister that my mom adopted before she had me, because she was told that she couldn't have kids. So 9 years later, here I come into the world. So she adopted my sister, and when she got 18 or 16 or something, she decided to leave the house, and her drug dealing boyfriend took her away, kidnapped her, and took her to the bad part of town. And I remember we had to go to the bad part of town to pick her up, bring her back home. She was in a rehab place for all girls. And I remember seeing her hit my mom underneath the kitchen table. And I told the police what happened. And they said, I told them that my sister hit my mom. And then she went to rehab, and she went to all girls home for a little while. So I remember that being the first trauma in my life that I went through. And then losing my grandparents within 6 months of each other, that was a big deal. I never got to say goodbye to them. So that was another trauma. Then me and my mom decided to move out of Alabama and come to Arizona. It was either Florida or Arizona. And Florida was having all the hurricanes and tornadoes. It was like, okay, let's go to Arizona. So we've been here ever since, and we love it. And it's our fresh new start to our whole new life.
I love that. I really, really love that. And yeah, you're right. Seeing that, at such a young age, and addictions, they make us do things that we wouldn't normally do, that aren't who we are, because there is a pain there that needs to get out. And then you connect with the wrong people that are in the same vibration, and now we're just feeding off of each other. So did your sister get help? Is she still part of the family? What happened? Did she make it through rehab?
Oh yeah, she made it through okay with that. And she after that, she got with another bad guy that just hated Mexicans just because they were Mexican, and he was abusing her, and she's still with him to this day. They have like few kids together. She barely talks to me or my mom. She once a few times I talked to her on Facebook, and she's like, I said, well, Mama said hi. She said, well, she's not my mom. So yeah, she is.
Yeah.
And you're like, it's like, just like you're my sister. Like, you'll always be my sister.
Yeah. And that's okay, because sometimes people can be blood, but they can be blood over there. Sometimes it's just not healthy to continue to have them in our lives. So this bone disease, is it a genetic thing? Is it something you had early as a baby, or did it develop later? Tell us about your disability story. Tell us how that grew.
Yeah. So I was born with it. So it's a genetic disease. I got from my mom. She got it from her dad. So it's a 50-50 chance every time you get pregnant, the baby could have it or it couldn't have it. So I got it. So if I decide to have the kids, then then the next one possibly could have it or not. But
What's the
either
name
way,
of the bone disease that you have?
it's called osteogenesis imperfecta, which basically means soft bones. So my bones break easy. So I went through a lot of that during my life. I've broken 16 bones in my life so far. I haven't broken for the past 10 years or so
Good.
because I got on this IV shot that's been helping make my bones stronger and all that. So I got on that at a pretty young age. So I haven't been breaking. The last break that I really had was I broke a little bit of my back a little bit of it just turning the wrong way,
Wow.
charging my phone into the wall. So yeah,
Wow.
that was a little bit painful, but I have a very high pain tolerance. I can tolerate pain. Like getting a tattoo was no big deal. I got through that. I got through all my broken bones. I got through heartbreak barely, and
I'll
I
bet
don't know
the
how my heart is beating right now. It's been hurt so many times.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, with the PTSD and the depression and the
Yeah, that too.
anxiety.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you, I have a girlfriend who suffered a spinal injury from a car accident, and she was in one of my women's networking events, and I just think she's amazing, her view on disability, but she also helps me understand a view differently of people who are disabled, how difficult
Yeah.
it is. And I even dated a guy who was in a wheelchair, and he is just,
Oh.
oh my God, he's like the light. I love this man. He's just amazing. I'm married to someone else, but he really, just his attitude, his positiveness, his outlook on life.
Yeah.
I find people who have gone through these disabilities to be so much stronger and mentally like champions of how you have to get up every day and see positive, because physically it's a struggle all day. Like you said, turning around and plugging in a phone to charge it, breaking your back. We have no idea what that concept it could even be. And this is a
Yeah.
daily thing for you that you have to be careful of. So when you were
Yeah.
growing up and going to school, how was that for you? And did you have a lot of support from friends and family to make you feel, more inclusive? Because people sometimes don't know how to deal with things they don't know about, right?
Yeah. Right. Um. Yeah. School was a piece of cake. Um. I started in I went to school in Alabama for a few grades, and then we moved to Arizona. I had aid during school that would help me get to my classes and to help protect me at school. I needed help with going to the bathroom and stuff like that. I've had aid all throughout school, except when I went to radio school. I didn't have an aide with me then because they wouldn't allow it. So, other than that, I had aide with me the whole time, and they just basically went around with me. And then I was bullied in uh, elementary school, and I dealt with that because the guy he was threatening me, wanted to slit my throat open and push me down the stairs. So I cried to my mom, and she called the superintendent and got me into a different school the next day. And other than that, I had one bully in high school, a few girls that didn't like how I flirted with them. So I got called to the principal's office a few times. But for the rest of the times, like I was friends with the security guard, and he would joke around with me and say that, "Oh, you're in trouble. Let's go." But in reality, I was going to a baseball game without even like knowing why, and stuff like that.
It sounds like you had a lot of people that, thank goodness, like that were drawn to you and to protecting you. And your
Oh
mother, your mom sounds absolutely amazing.
yeah,
Uh,
she's great.
Gosh, that's just kudos to her. I just want to give her like a virtual hug right now. Tell me about your therapy dog because I want to know everything about the therapy dogs and what does your dog do for you? What kind of breed and name? And I got to know about the dogs. You know that.
All right. So my mom has a therapy dog too. Her name is Bonnie, and she's a rescue dog. She's a Chihuahua. She's a deer head Chihuahua. So she basically looks like a deer in her head.
Well, mine's a deer too. If you can, I don't know if you can see her. Oh, she's sleeping. I have a deer head too. Is
Yeah.
she a fawn deer head or is she dark?
She's dark. Yeah.
Oh, I love it,
She's dark brown. She was a rescue. She got abused too when she was a puppy, and we've had her since 2015. And then I had a therapy dog in Alabama too, but I had for 17 years. Then she died with kidney cancer, and that she died in 2017. And then we got my new one. We got Emily, Emily Rose, who is a Chihuahua, and she's a orchid Chihuahua. So she has a white streak on her head. She has a white tip on her tail. She has a white chest. She has white feet. She's beautiful. She's gorgeous.
I love it, Chris.
And
I love it.
She's so smart too.
That is so amazing. I've never heard of an orchid Chihuahua, and I mean, I just have your. I like to say she's not a normal Chihuahua, but there are no normal Chihuahuas, and
No.
I volunteered one time through a company I used to work for at Halo Rescue in Phoenix, and so for all my listeners. Oh my goodness, if you want a Chihuahua, because you're hearing right now two that are support dogs, and even though my dog isn't certified as a support dog, she's been my support dog through her life. She just turned 8 yesterday, my little baby, 8 years old. So what does Emily Rose do for you? How does she help you?
Well, yeah, she is certified. I got her certified online, and so when she was a puppy, I taught her everything that she needed to know because it's better to teach them when they're young, so that way they know when they get older.
Agree.
So
Agree.
she's
and I think especially with Chihuahuas under a year old, I have found a lot of people give Chihuahuas a bad rap, but it really is with that breed. If you do it in that first year, I got Jade at 5 months old. She was an apartment dog, and now she's this dog, dog door running around, dog park, friendly, loves everybody. A little yappy only when her brother and sister are yapping, but she's not a normal Chihuahua. She loves everybody. And people will say Chihuahuas are a one-person dog and they don't like kids and they don't like cats. Not true at all, right?
Yeah, not true.
So
yeah,
how'd
Emily
you train her?
Emily loves everybody.
That's what I'm saying.
She's so smart. Like she knows. I taught her how to wait patiently. I taught her how to fetch the ball and bring it back. She knows. I've seen her 2 times put her toys back into her box, but my mom hasn't seen her yet. My caregiver saw her a few times do it. I said, "See, you see it? She can do it." And my mom's like, my mom was sitting right there, and she didn't see it. I'm like, come on now.
I love that.
But
how does she help you?
Really
How
smart.
does she pick things up and hand them to you, or what kind of training wise does she help you with your disability?
Well, she's much on the emotional support side of things because I get depressed and I get lonely at nighttime. So I have a hard time going to sleep. Okay. So she helps me go to sleep. She kisses me, and then she just sits right by me, and she knows when to wake. I have to like recently, I guess I got diagnosed with a really bad bladder issue. So that's why I had that surgery, and it went really good. And I'm at a point where it's comfortable now, to where it don't hurt me anymore.
Good.
So I have to switch out my catheter bags at night. So I taught her how to wait. So she sits and waits, and she just and she does that until I tell her to, okay, it's time for you to come, and she'll just sit there. It'd be like, it takes me about maybe like 5 to 10 minutes to do that, and she just sits there and just waits.
Oh my goodness. I love the dogs. And that's
great.
exactly just what you're describing is, when I was in sort of a funk and I was doing this sort of soul journey for a couple of years, that's where the idea for the books came from. My dog is more enlightened than I am, and my dog is my relationship coach, is because they tune into us. You notice how people don't tune into us, but dogs will tune into you and be like, oh, I know what he needs. He's distressed. He's sad. He needs comfort. He needs love.
Yeah. Like I can literally fake cry, and she can come up and just kiss me. Sometimes sometimes I test her and see what she would do, and she knows.
She's right there. Oh, all the things, all the dog things. Oh my gosh, I'm as passionate about dogs as I am about people. And they're just magical, and that's why they have shorter lives, which is sad. I wish they'd live as long as we did, but they don't have a lot of garbage to clear out like we do.
They don't got 9 lives like cats.
Right, exactly. So I want to get to talking about what you're doing, because this is so neat. I love your ambition. I love your creativity, and I think creativity is the answer to joy. I really do.
I thank my brain for that.
Yes.
I have a really great brain.
Yes.
Really, I have a really strong heart, really strong personality, and a really big brain. You know how I describe my body to the girl that I'm dating? I say I have a short body, long legs, long arms, and I have a great upper body, and a big chest.
Wow, and a big brain.
Big brain, yeah.
So you mentioned you went to radio school, which I really am curious. What do we do in radio school? Tell me about radio school, and what did you learn, and where do you want to take this career? So what was radio school like?
At first it was scary, but then once I got in there, I was like in love with it. So I live about like 2 blocks away from the school, which was very convenient. I went there in 2011. Well, technically 2012, because I did 2.5 years. I did a few months worth of summer school first to get college credit and all that, because they made us do that first, and then we did the first class. So it's at EVA. You know what EVA is?
I
East
do.
Valley
East Valley Institute
Yes.
of Technology. My daughter took fashion design when she was in high school there. And what a great program.
Yeah.
They have everything from cosmetology to welding and mechanics and radio. I mean, anything you want to do, it's like a jump on a career. And you kind of hone in and figure out, well, maybe I want to try this. And then you get sort of I think it's a trial run to say, is this something I really want to do the rest of my life? So
because like at first I went in there, I was going to do like stop motion animation video class or whatever, and I went in there and said, this is boring as shit. So I went upstairs and I saw the radio thing, and I'm like, this is more like it. I saw a boy in a wheelchair there. I'm like, okay, and so if he can do it, then I can do it too. And I already knew some of the so me and my mom had a meeting with the teacher and the principal to get a feel of the school and stuff, and they wanted to make sure that I can open the doors by myself and go to the bathroom and say the radio stuff, So my teacher gave me a test. He's like, say this like it's like you're on the radio. So okay. And so I said it, and he's like, okay, that's close enough. You know, I think you got it. So okay, so but it took me a year to get on air. So before that, I started my podcast, my first podcast, which was crappy. I started that on Spreaker Radio in 2011, and then so I did that for a few years, and then once it's time for me to be on air, I got on air, and I had a morning show with my co-host, and we did that for 2.5 years, and then I got I got interviewed for a scholarship, so I won the scholarship, and then we did all that, and then I graduated. I graduated even. I graduated from my high school, like all in the same week. I had a graduation party. I had 2 graduations, and then I took a year off. And then I went to college for a little bit. I had a crappy situation with the counselor at the college because she was talking down about me, saying, "I don't need this, I don't need that, blah 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 blah." I wasn't looking at her like in the eye, so my mom knew that something was wrong. So we talked to the dean about it, and then the dean took care of it. Like they even put me in the wrong program. Like I didn't want to be in that music recording program. So they put me in this program that I really wanted to be in. So I did that for 2 semesters. Then I decided that I'm already doing what I love to do, so I don't need college. And you don't really need college for radio, which I didn't know at the time. So I thought I just got done with EVIT, so I already got my radio certification from that. So I didn't really need to go to college, but I just wanted to check it out. So I already had the scholarship. Yeah. I'm like, okay, I might as well go. And then so I did, and I had fun. And then I came back and I started my internet radio station that I do from home, and I've been doing that since 2015. So it's come up to it's been 7 years. It'll be 8 years in January. Wow! And I'm about to start my 7th countdown show in December. So
what is your countdown show? What is that?
So the station is called J-Man Radio. So that was my nickname in high school was J-Man. Everybody knew me by J-Man because I was in a lot of drama plays in high school. I was Mr. Parpler in high school. Everybody loved me. Everybody said hi to me. The cheerleaders opened doors for me. It was great. I had a cheerleader girlfriend. It was great.
I love this story. So this is what I love is you didn't have. I mean, you had challenges, but you also had all this fun stuff going on. I mean, a cheerleader girlfriend, Mr. Popular. Like, see, that's so cool, and that's something that any of our listeners who have disabilities, nothing can stop you. You can have everything, be, and do everything in spite of your challenges physically, and I think that goes for mentally as well. And I think that's so neat that you shared that with us. So let's, if someone is thinking about going,
sorry,
go ahead. I was gonna say, if someone's going into radio, you said you really don't have to go to school for the radio. What steps do they take? If I wanted to go into radio, what are you going to tell me? My first steps are.
Look it up, Google it.
Google. Go to Google.
Yeah, go to Google and search for create radio station or become a radio DJ. You'll see tutorials probably from YouTube, and click on them, and then they will tell you what to do. I already knew the basics of stuff because I was taught the basics. So I wasn't taught how to voice track or do remotes. So I had to learn that for myself. But I looked at everything online. I started my internet radio station. I did a 15-hour stream. And then I got demanded by the UK people to go 24/7. So I went 24/7. And then so I get listeners from everywhere. I get listeners from Germany and UK and Arizona and everywhere.
Nice. Well,
Yeah.
I'm hoping your listeners will also listen to you on our podcast today. And you're right. I'm literally double your age. So you're 26 and I'm 52. So I'm literally been on this earth twice as long as you. And you know what? You're never too old to learn anything. You guys were raised with technology, okay? Millennials, my son's going to be 24 this Saturday. You millennials really have had such an advantage with this technology, sort of disadvantage and advantage, but I think you have this advantage where I think my generation was very intimidated by it. So you're right. I held back for a really long time starting the podcast, and then I started it, and I just said to myself, you know what? Just work out the kinks. My first shows, there were like technical stuff. There were like blanks or like space in the dead air in there, dogs barking. And you know what I told myself, Jordan?
It happens.
I said, I don't care, because the message of the podcast is so much more important than the technical aspects of it.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's, I think, what I feel with you, this connection is you're just authentically you, and you're not,
I am.
You're not
That's
afraid.
That's how my podcast is too. I'm raw and I'm authentic, genuine, and that's how my personality is. I'm very heartwarming, and I can never meet a stranger because they just fall in love with me every time they meet me, and I just I love helping people so much. I sometimes I put people before myself. Like I like to help people before I take care of myself. I always been like that.
We do
And
that a lot, I think.
I have a photographic memory, so I remember a lot of stuff. So I remember names. I remember what people were back in the day. Like I remember all of the technology stuff that I need to remember. And that can be a curse or a good or a blessing. But it's been both for me. Like having a photographic memory, it's been crazy.
I would feel like there would be like a little bit of information overload.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I definitely I have the opposite problem. I don't remember beep. I just edited myself there because I just don't remember anything. Of course, I am double your age, but I do work on that, and I repeat things like 2 or 3 times to make sure that I insert that in my brain. But yeah, having that photographic memory, I can see where that would be a curse. And when it comes to putting people before our own, we got to be careful because we can't give if we're on empty, right? We can't run the car on empty. And I really love the authenticity.
I have learned that.
Good. Self-care all the way. So tell me, what do your movies look like? What does it entail to make them? Because if it's a stop motion, it reminds me, and I'm probably so layman in this area. I'm thinking like claymation, where you change the thing, stop, take a picture, claymate, you change. Is that sort of like that?
Yeah.
Oh, hey.
You are spot on.
Oh, wow.
That's exactly what it is. It's just frame by frame.
Oh, how fun is that?
Every little thing. Like I have to move the character, then take a picture, then move the character, then take a picture, and then I do mine a little bit differently than all the other Lego YouTubers. Like I do still frame stop motion, so it's basically like I do stop motion, I move the characters, yada yada, but I also do still frame, which for the audio, for their audio recording. So for the lines, that's the only way that I can actually think of how to do it mentally and physically. So
how long does it take you to make a movie?
Well, that depends, because for my first one, it took me a few years because I got writer's block for the script, so that was a heartache. And then I got through that, and then I had to. It's a whole step process, so you have to do it step by I go to Google Drive and then drive all the recordings to my phone. Then I put all the recordings into the stop motion app. And then I render it and upload it.
Holy moly!
Then I upload it to my Google Drive. Then that goes to YouTube.
Jeez, that is a process. That is a craft. And I'm just gonna say, I'll be waiting for my script to record for your next movie, because I think you need to have a life coach in one of your Lego movies. I'm just, that's all I'm saying. Mm-hmm. But so
maybe,
how many followers do you have on your YouTube channel?
Well, like all together on my channels, I have about 5,000 to be close to 4,000 on my platforms. But
nice.
but my Lego one is like close to almost close to 260, and then I got on my other YouTube channel I have about the same 260. And then on my radio one, I don't get that many because I just started it, so I had to restart everything. So once you like get rid of something, you have to restart it for radio, and it's stupid.
Well, it sounds like there's a lot of diversity too, where you're always like trying to find different ideas and different things to do. And I'm gonna give you a life coach author tip really quick.
All right.
You should never have writer's block, and I'll tell you why. If you are not in a place of joy about it, don't do it. Don't write it. If you're sitting at a desk trying to either write a book, write a script, and you're frustrated and nothing comes to mind, it means you have a blockage and it's not time to write it. And go do something like go play with Emily Rose and watch the inspiration and the idea come to you when you're not so focused on doing it. And that's what I did with the book. With the books, I would never write if I didn't feel like writing. But when I felt like writing, I'm like, oh, I need to go do this. It flowed. It flowed much easier.
I get all my good ideas from the shower.
There you go.
My brain turns on more when I'm in the shower.
I love it. Water element, and that's like flow. Water is flow. So I'm going to ask you, through all that you've been through, which is so impressive and just inspirational. I really think you're so inspirational. I know you were obviously brought into my path because of that vibration of what you are. You're just inspirational and positive about life, no matter what struggles come in your path. So what would you say you never knew that you know now? Would you say just that you can overcome anything, that there's not a problem that you face that you can't overcome because you've overcome so much?
Yeah, because when I was younger, my mom would always say that can't wasn't in the vocabulary.
Yeah.
And I never got it until I got older. Then once I got it, it just stuck. Like I can't, in my vocabulary, if I can't figure out how to do it, then I figure out another way to do it. Yes. And she's going through a lot right now where she's saying, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that. Well, I say, it's not in your vocabulary. So I'm turning it back to her now.
Yeah, the student teaches the teacher. I love it.
Exactly.
And I love Mom for inserting such a positive mantra into you, knowing that, going on into your life that you were going to have these struggles. That's what moms are for. We say corny things, but I'll tell you, eventually it sticks and it'll be in the back of your mind. So I always ask all my guests, I don't know if you've heard any of the previous podcasts, but I always say, if you are in downtown Mesa and me and 99,999 other people are following you and you have a banner, what does Jordan's banner say about changing the world?
Oh, you're going to love this. So, I think it would have a blue background with my picture on it, and it would say, it would have all these different sayings in the background. Like it would say like strong and brave and honest and loyal and respectful and genuine and authentic and raw, which I'm not. I'm trying not to be as raw now, but sometimes I can't help myself. So it would have all that background then, but on top it would say, believe in yourself and you will go far in life. And I've been sticking to that motto since high school. I just came up with it one day, and it's been stuck in my head ever since. And I just tell everybody about it. And lately, I've been seeing other people say it in their posts and stuff. It's like, yeah, if you don't believe in yourself, you won't go far in life. You will just shut down, and that'd be it.
That's absolutely right.
But you have to believe in yourself.
You do. You absolutely do.
That's what it will say.
And to learn it at 26, whereas I didn't learn that till my mid-40s, it's just crucial. It sounds so simple, but it's not that simple because the things we go through that discourage us, the failures, all of that weeds, it chips away at that belief in ourselves.
Yeah.
And I just think that's a beautiful statement. Beautiful.
I went through a lot for the past few months. Like I was very depressed and very I felt like I was dead, like I felt like I wasn't meant to be here because I was going through a lot. I had a really terrible caregiver that would not know that I was here. She wouldn't interact with me or nothing. I had to deal with that for a whole year, and she was making me depressed and very emotional, and I had full anxiety and everything. And then one day I just got so sick of it, and I was going through some stalker issues too, and I had to do all that. And
how'd you overcome that? How'd you get through it?
Not responding to their emails. That's one thing.
No response is a response. I say that all the time.
No responses. I privated my accounts. Good. I changed my username and everything, and they basically just stopped. And lately, I reported because they made a wiki page with all my information, my personal information on it. And I found it on Google on accident like a year ago, and I was like, what is this? And it had all my personal stuff in it. I was like, what what why is that on there? And that not a wiki page not supposed to have all this stuff on there. Like it had all my fashion stuff on there. It had everything. I'm like, this gotta go. So wow. I had to deal with that for a whole year, and I finally got that one reported and deleted. So
you were solution minded, and I think that's the message for the listeners today is that Jordan became solution minded rather than sitting back and saying, "Oh, poor me." You're like, "I'm going to go to here, and I'm going to fix this, and I'm going to fix this." And I think having a disability, whether it's physical or mental, I think there's just a level of helplessness. And I think when you have a physical disability, there's even a higher level of helplessness because, physically, when you're healthy, you can get out of a situation. And for me to hear a caregiver that was mistreating and disengaged, you know what? Get out of that field. If you're not a healer and you're not a helper, why are you in that field? I hear that
Exactly.
about there's bad teachers, there's bad doctors, there's bad nurses. If you're in a and I'm going to say this, I said it. If you're in a healing career and you are not empathetic, get out of it. Go do something different that doesn't involve anybody else. Go do something solo for yourself, because that makes me angry, because you count on someone wholly for your well-being and for your needs, and for someone to just not care about that and get paid for it is disheartening. So I'm going to leave it. I'm leaving that message. That's my banner today. I'm going to leave that message today. Cool. Now we're going to end it on a light note. Jordan, what would you say is the thing that you do that most people don't do, that is like this sort of shameless self-indulgence? Like mine is M&Ms. I'm going to be real with you. I am addicted to M&Ms. But what is your like shameless self-indulgence that you don't think anybody else probably does?
Well, I have a few.
Okay.
I used to eat Skittles a lot. Like every single holiday, I would get some Skittles. I love Skittles. I love Starburst. I love Airheads. I love now I love Lifesavers gummies. So I've been eating Lifesaver gummies like it's nothing. I have 2 bags in the closet right now.
Sugar rush.
But I got diagnosed with high blood pressure in 2015, so I have to watch what I eat with all the sugar and stuff.
Yeah. And
with my bladder issue now, I have to watch that too. And then I got my gallbladder taken out this year, so everything I have to watch what I eat. So Skittles, last time I ate Skittles, they hurt me. And I was like, oh no, my first love. I have to get rid of my first love.
Be careful of that diabetes too. So
yeah, I don't want to get diabetes.
No, you have to be extra active too.
So I do eat Lifesaver gummies, and they have no sugar, and they're better for you.
There you go. See, there's a message right there. There's an alternative to everything. I'm started, and I don't call it a diet, but I started a different lifestyle as far as my eating goes on Sunday. And I think I lost like 3 or 4 pounds this week. Like I have been doing so great. And it was, like you said, simple changes going from Skittles to the Lifesaver gummies. I
also have like, if you want to go to the podcast stuff, you can just type in the Talkcast podcast on Google or on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts at, and just type in the Talkcast, and then the Lego movies.
Yeah.
You can go to YouTube. Well, I'll give you the full long link, then I'll give you the short way. So the long link is youtube.com/c/J Production Studios, or you can just type in J Productions Studios, or you type in J Productions Lego, and it will just come up. And It's like it's on there. It's a Lego figure that's in a wheelchair, and he has a phone. So that's what it is.
That's a really, really cute logo. I love that. It's perfect. It encompasses you. And guys, I'll have all of these links up on Jordan's podcast when it goes live. So I thank you so much, and I hope you have a fabulous day, my neighbor, because we have the best weather in the entire country right now.
I love it.
We are very, very fortunate. So have a wonderful Halloween, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you again for being a wonderful guest. Listeners, please go find Jordan and look at his wonderful movies that he makes. And if you are looking for life coaching, do not forget to contact me at www.lifecoachmaureen.com. And thank you for subscribing. Do give us 5-star reviews, as that helps us with the algorithms in Apple and every other platform. So if you need any healthy treats for your little Chihuahua puppies, for mom and your puppy, you can go to mydogiseverything.net. I have nothing but healthy, holistic treats, 3 ingredients, no preservatives, no dyes, all the good stuff for your puppy, plus cute little bandanas, shirts to match your puppy. You guys can match your bandanas. Lots of fun stuff. I'm getting new products up every day. So thank you all, and I wish you all wellness and happiness, and we'll catch you next time on the next episode. Peace out. Thanks, guys.
Thank you for tuning in to the I Never Knew podcast. If you found today's episode inspiring and educational, please be sure to follow, subscribe, and spread the word. The more people that join the Inc. community, the more it can develop and influence others as we work together for a healthier and brighter future. Until next time.